What if I told you that in the 19th and early 20th centuries, parents hung their babies in metal cages outside apartment windows? Or that people drank radioactive water, thinking it restored their youth? History's packed with practices that seem shocking, bizarre, or downright terrifying today. Let's dive into 5 customs that were once completely normal. In the early 1900s, city families faced a problem: cramped apartments with no fresh air for their kids. The solution? Hanging wire cages outside windows, with babies inside, sometimes dangling 10 stories above busy streets. Advertised as a way to strengthen children's lungs, these baby cages popped up in cities like London and New York. Invented in 1922, they were a hit. Parents thought it was healthy, even practical. It wasn't until the mid-20th century that people questioned the sanity of suspending infants over traffic. Imagine a drink promising to restore your energy and revitalize your youth. In the 1920s, that was radium-infused water. People guzzled it, smeared radium face creams, and brushed with radium toothpaste, believing it was a miracle cure. Companies even sold radium-laced chocolate bars. But when factory workers, the radium girls, painting watch dials with radium started dying from radiation poisoning, the truth hit hard. By the 1930s, science proved radium wasn't a health boost, it was a silent killer. In the 19th century, death was everywhere, and mourning photography was a way to keep loved ones close. Families dressed the deceased in their best clothes and posed them like they were alive, sometimes propped up, sometimes cradling infants. Photographers painted open eyes onto prints for that lifelike touch. It might feel eerie now, but back then, it was a treasured memento, a final snapshot of someone gone too soon. For over 2,000 years, from ancient Greece to the 1800s, if you were sick, a doctor might balance your humors by draining your blood. Bloodletting was the cure for fevers, infections, even madness. Leeches were the tool of choice, sucking out bad blood from patients. It wasn't until the 19th century that modern medicine showed it often did more harm than good. And yet here's the twist: leeches still pop up in some surgeries today. In ancient Rome, urine was a daily essential. People used it as a mouthwash to whiten teeth, a stain remover for togas, and a tanning agent for leather. Public urinals stood on street corners collecting donations for laundry workers. The stench must have been brutal, but for Romans, it was just business as usual, a practical trick from a time before soap was king. From baby cages to urine cleaners, these customs were once everyday life. What odd habits will future generations look back on with horror? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll pin the wildest one. If you're hooked on history's weirdest secrets, subscribe and hit the bell. Next time, we'll unravel a mystery that stumped a nation. Stay curious.